Buddies, you're all sending some really lovely comments about the ending of season 3 and what the future story might be. Everyone's focus is on that right now. So in today's video, we'll predict what could happen in season 4 and which new mysteries might unravel because the makers have introduced so many elements. But how will they unveil everything? That's what we'll discuss today. I'll start with a few solid comments that contain some amazing queries, and the video might get a bit long because of this. If some points don't seem clear initially, wait a bit because they might connect to a theory later that will help in understanding everything, definitely. But before we begin, buddies, show your support with a like. Many of you are regular viewers now, so I request at least 500 likes on this video. This isn't the last theory video, more are planned, so stay supportive. Many comments have come in, like whether the man in yellow could be Ethan. Another intriguing comment suggested that the man in yellow and the boy in white might be father and son. Another comment was about the ending. Was it all just a dream or a vision of Jim, Julie, or Tabitha? Could that be possible? Today, we'll try to understand these questions, decode the hidden clues, and break them down. We'll start with the relationship between Camden and Tabitha, where the mystery of the man in yellow began. So far, we've only heard about the man in yellow. When Boyd met Martin, Martin mentioned that there are more powerful things in this town, more dangerous than the night monsters. It was also mentioned somewhere that there's a supreme power in this forest that can appear anytime, day or night. Then, at the end of season 1, Jim received a call from the man in yellow, warning him that his wife shouldn't dig under the house. We've been following these developments, but when Tabitha visited Miranda's house, there were many creepy paintings related to the town in the basement, including one of the man in yellow. However, Tabitha didn't pay attention to it. From Camden's connection, one thing became clear: a supreme power, possibly the boy in white, tried to help, but the people couldn't solve the mystery initially. For instance, Camden had two purposes that Tabitha hasn't realized yet. The boy in white might have had a purpose in pushing Tabitha down the lighthouse, saying, "This is the only way." Yet Tabitha should have paid more attention to the man in yellow's identification. Recall episode 2 of season 3, where it was revealed that Henry knew everything about Miranda. He is chosen and had dreams about this weird place. Others had been chosen before, but failed, and no one could escape. They all remained stuck. Miranda must have told Henry all this. That's why, recalling the ending of season 3, Julie came from the future to save Jim, essentially to change the story. If Jim weren't an important character, the maker wouldn't have crafted this angle. They would have simply killed off Jim like they did with Tilly. The scenario playing out now is similar to what happened during Miranda's time. Her former husband Christopher was in the town, but her real husband Henry was outside. In the same way, Jade is in the town, but Jim, who shouldn't have been there, is also present. In the end, some connection might come to light, a key to freeing the kids, solved only by Tabitha and her real husband, the real couple. When the kids were initially helped, it was also done by a real couple, Tabitha and Jade, as mentioned. But at that time, they failed. Maybe history will repeat itself, and Tabitha's real husband will justify Julie saving Jim from the future, making sense of why Miranda kept Henry safe outside the town. When Miranda ran to the bottle tree, it must have been to solve the final piece of the puzzle. She might have figured it out and was coming to retrieve Henry through the lighthouse when Smiley killed her, stopping her from completing her task. Now you might ask if Henry would have been killed by the man in yellow if he came into town. I believe he wouldn't. There's a reason for this, which we discussed in the previous video. The violin music made Tabitha and Jade recall old memories, when all the kids helped them escape. Perhaps this music task freed not only the kids, but also the man in yellow, who might have been trapped somewhere. He mentioned knowledge comes with a cost, which might have been a condition, finding a way, but also increasing the trouble. In Miranda's case, she remembered everything earlier and didn't let the man in yellow free. However, the pieces have come together again, as is seen at the end of season 3. The supreme power, man in yellow, had to step onto the field, freed by the music task, and took down Jim as the central piece. So buddies, we are very close to breaking this curse. According to me, the kids' help will only succeed if Tabitha and her real husband solve this ritual together. Maybe these relationships can't form in the cursed town, and the real couple from the outside world will resolve it. Based on the available data, this theory seems plausible. Jim's seemingly senseless death also aligns with it. Returning to Camden, the boy in white gave Tabitha an opportunity, just like he had helped Miranda in her time. This time, the boy in white went a step further to assist Tabitha, from the paintings and bottle tree to the bracelet in Camden, all of which Miranda created in her previous life. The boy in white hoped these elements would help Tabitha recall everything easily, avoiding the violin scene. The boy in white knew that if this happened, the man in yellow would surely come, leading to Jim's death, and that's exactly what occurred. But I repeat, it's just a theory. However, instead Instead of completing the task for which Tabitha was sent to Camden, she brought Henry, who is of no use, and returned empty-handed. This became evident when Victor was stopped from cutting the tree. He said Tabitha had to find her own path and that he wouldn't help anymore because things had changed significantly, showing his frustration. After the Camden moment, the boy in white has hardly appeared this season, which gives the entire interconnection a sense. The man in yellow and Tabitha's attempt to help the kids, combined with Jim's death, has been explained in detail. So far, this is how the theory builds up. Now let's move to the comments that help dig out this information. Many believe the ending might be a dream or vision of Julie, Jim, or Tabitha. A supreme power might have wanted to help Tabitha by informing her. Since Tabitha saw the man in yellow painting in Miranda's house, recognizing him in her visions could spark clarity. When Tabitha hugged Victor, she had a vision. Perhaps that vision was sent to alert Jim or Julie. If we consider this theory, Julie was chosen by the supreme power to help Jim, which aligns with her statement, "This is when it all started, and I came to change the story." Another comment asked whether the man in yellow could be Ethan, since Ethan been seen in a yellow suit throughout the seasons. It's an interesting theory, but there's no solid reason yet to believe Thane is the man in yellow. Ethan is very close to his father and often seen with him. Meanwhile, the man in yellow seems to be the controller of this place, someone who knows everything about it. No visible similarity or connection has been found yet. Let's dig into this further, and if something comes up, we'll compare Thane's character with the man in yellow in the next video. One intriguing theory suggests that the man in yellow and the boy in white might be father and son. If we establish this angle, it makes sense. The boy in white is a supreme entity, and so is the man in yellow. Perhaps the man in yellow lured the townsfolk into a mortal scheme, with the boy in white trying to stop him but failing. The boy in white might now need to defeat his father, the man in yellow, with the kids' help. Maybe a condition prevents the boy in white from directly exposing the man in yellow. That's why the boy in white seems frustrated, knowing that the man in yellow will inevitably return and no one can stop him. When freed, he'll wreak havoc, starting with Jim. The father-son theory fits because one shows the right path, while the other is a supervillain leading people astray. The monsters and creatures are pawns of the man in yellow, forming his army. But these are just theories. The real story will only be revealed in season 4. Today's video feels quite complicated and lengthy. I'm still trying to find connections regarding the husband theory. Why the maker brought Henry into town alongside Jim and Jade repeatedly. Perhaps only Tabitha remains now where Miranda once was. The husband theory hints at something. If you also think so, let me know in the comments. I'll keep working on this topic, and today we discussed one angle, the real husband and couple who might deal with the final stage of the town's mystery. Until then, buddies, there are many theories, many discussions, and my mind is getting overwhelmed with these complexities. Let me know how you liked the video. If you have more thoughts or theories, drop them in the comments.